Bobby Moore and Sir Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. I'm proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast, more than just a podcast.
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. This is more than just a podcast.
I take it the Boochies are gone.
They have gone. It is it's season 12. It's episode 57. If you've not listened to episode 56 with the Boochies, go back and listen to it. This is the second episode of the week. This is the bonus episode. The first episode went on for about an hour and 40 minutes. This one could go on for 4 hours. It could be a monster. We could still be here in tomorrow morning, and but still with me, because we didn't do a question time last week. Is Canning Town Len back to full fitness? How are you? What are you doing?
Doing a podcast with you and talking to someone relevant at the same time.
Yeah, I know, right? Concentrate. And Shedman, back by popular demand, with his voice back. Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm in my shed.
Shedman. People are going to think now that they're listening to an old podcast. Did you do that?
I'll play the whole one to make this last a bit longer. Nigel, it wasn't funny the first
time you did it.
when you said you didn't have a voice.
That's normally what we tell you, Sean.
I know. Anyway, it's we've talked to death already. My voice is going now. I'm still. Do you know what? I got drunk.
Why, Sean? It's a different day. What are you talking about?
I know that, but
it's Wednesday.
Look, I'm getting old, right? I got drunk on Friday night, and I said to myself on Saturday.
You got drunk on Sunday morning. Sean.
Yeah, I know. And then I got drunk on Friday night, but with a few bottles of Prosecco. I think I had 6 between 4 of us, and I was up at 6 bottles, pink Prosecco.
What would you do? Raiding the mini fridge in a
No, we went round. I went to visit.
Did you share these 6 bottles with 12 people or something?
No. It was 2 couples, right?
Oh, right.
And
They're
new Tesla owners. We went to compare Teslas. They've got the new performance model.
Is that what you're calling it now, Sean?
Performance, yeah, Tesla.
Is it charged?
Anyway, it was 1:30 in the morning, and on Saturday I was suffering and thinking, I'm never drinking again. And then turned up at noon, and it all started again, didn't it, on Sunday?
Well, some of us carried on, Sean, obviously.
Well, I know you did, but when I arrived,
some of us can handle it.
You'd only had a pint and a half, and then I did some heavy drinking. I was pretty gone before.
Heavy drinking. I think me and Finn worked out what you'd done. Your mathematics was atrocious. Me and Finley were laughing.
I was drinking the leftovers. I was doing some minesweeping. Anyway, it's time for this. Yeah, Facebook, Twitter question time is back. And Nigel's put the question up way too early.
Well, no, I put the question up, as I always do, when we started the show. The first show. So,
hang on, we're recording this on a different day.
If the Boochies talk that much, and then they've disappeared. So they keep us going. But anyway, question time, peeps. Over to yous lots. Peter Mulholland Drive, diving straight in. Rice goes, who's captain next year? Nice short, sharp one. The idea of question time.
Yes.
Sorry, did you ask me? What?
Yeah, he's talking to the man in the green
Man
shirt,
in the green shirt.
and
Yeah.
I'm talking to George, who's talking about
Sorry,
our
right.
meat
Let's get this
person.
out of the way. This right. I'm talking to the man in the green
The
shirt.
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's a West Ham fan who wants to keep his. I knew he was a West Ham fan, but someone told me he was Dutch, and I went along with it to throw him off the scent because if I was him, as someone who tries to protect my identity without you two pricks calling me Jay every fucking 10 minutes on
Not
a
me, son.
podcast.
Who's
Well,
Jay?
you're not fucking great at it, are you?
Who's
right.
Jay?
Just a few slip of the tongues.
Never heard of
To
this.
be
Jay,
fair, though,
Who's
I'm
Jay?
not being funny, yeah? You stuck your bloody name up on all the credits on one of your films.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't understand much choice, did I?
So don't come throwing stones at my door when you do it to yourself.
Anyway, I thought it would be a good idea to throw it out there, to throw him off the scent. Because that's what I fucking love, that people thinking I was someone else. As they did with Andy, Paul Christmas from the supporters club. A lot of people think Paul Christmas is me because he's standing there handing a painting over to Mark Noble. So they think that's me. They think
right.
Paul's me.
You love that, don't you?
Except if you know Paul. So I'm talking to him now and obviously trying to get his painting to him, but I'm not telling him who he is, but I'm trying to give him some credit because his cousin was pulled down the stairs, which must have been fucking horrific for him to be watching football and then you see hooded men pulling you down the stairs, and the guy done a really good job of knocking 7 bells of shit out of him. But like people contact me saying, give this guy credit, and I'm trying. But as someone who doesn't take credit myself, I ain't got a Scooby Doo out until now. Where I've just got it out.
Yeah, you know, we covered it a bit in there. You know, you've got to look at it and give them a lot of respect.
Yeah,
I did point out in the first show that there was 2 staircases. People may not realise is that there was 2 staircases that the fans rushed up. So you had Nosey on one staircase and the Hulk in the other, as I will now call him. And they both gave better than they got, basically. And taught the Dutch a harsh lesson. Like that. Reverted to Dutch then. But anyway, as it's question time,
right.
Peter Mulholland Drive says, Rice goes. Who's captain next year?
Oh yeah, we should try and stick to this. We've got a lot of questions. We should try and stick to the answers. Aaron Cresswell.
Aaron Creswell. You got choice of captain next year?
He's the obvious choice, though, isn't he?
Len?
Is he going to be there next year? I mean,
yeah,
1 year
his hand in his
extension.
pocket for a testimonial, won't he?
We won't get a
I'm not going to
testimonial.
borrow Sean.
It's
Very
very expensive, Len.
How about again? I don't know. Do you know what? It's a real pertinent question,
Yeah,
isn't it?
for me, it's him or Zuma. So,
Yeah.
I could see Zuma, maybe. I don't know. It's difficult, actually.
I know you haven't got enough questions, so I've just I've just messaged Ian Dale from his hospital bed, so we do have a question from Ian Dale. So
Oh, tell a lie, actually. Right, I'll hold that there. The first question of the night
of course, being Ian Dale, it's slightly rude, and you know,
should have been this. So we got someone who's losing their cherry tonight. A first-time commenter.
Right, he needs a Delta Kaitai name.
Right,
Taikai name.
Right, now I will let you choose this because I'll give you 4 options. So, at various times, he's been known as Gonzo, though my mum used to tell me off when I called him that. Stew Rat. That was due to the fact that as a little kid I used to spell his name wrong. Rudy, which for the life of me, I've never found out why it was called that. Or the most popular one that a lot of people call him is Bruce, because they thought his East London accent made him sound like he was Australian. And this is Mr. Stuart Khan has sent a message.
Yeah, I was
Right.
going to say, it's your brother, isn't it?
Question. Of course, he gets to text me direct. And
How about
Rich-
William Oliver then?
Oliver? Well, no, because that's my son, isn't it?
Well, yeah, of course. How about Genghis?
Well, actually, no, because that was one of his names when he was at school. So let's go with Stuart Genghis Khan.
Right.
Yes, my brother has said, sent a message. He says, I don't know if you called in yet. Well, I was driving home, Stuart, 5 or 6 o'clock when you text me. But with the European final, is this the promise of the stadium move finally, although much later than we thought, realised? Brady out, he says.
Brady out.
Hey, Stu. My
to which I
favourite one
answered-
of the two Khan
Yeah.
brothers,
To
personally.
which I answered, you're pushing your luck with that. So,
Oh, and if Stu's listening into his question, Carol will be listening this week. Hello, Carol. Miss you. Talk to you soon.
all right. Anyway,
You finished the kitchen yet? Nice.
No, fuck it. Do you know, EB walked in and looked around and went, oh, it's not finished then.
The kitchen's banging.
Into the kitchen. You know, everybody that comes round and go, oh, is this the unfinished kitchen? Like it's some bloody painting by Canaletto when he died, you know, and left it half finished.
Very good.
Just like,
You're not a
Yeah.
complete finisher,
Yeah.
though, Nigel. Let's be honest.
well, you know.
So let's talk about Canaletto. Where was
Yeah.
most of the
It was Venice, wasn't it? It was,
Well, very
Canaletto.
good, Nigel. See, Sean?
Yeah, well done.
So I do know some
did
of my
finish
artists.
school.
That's one thing I didn't. So is this, and this is the thing, is this the next level? If we win a European tie, is this indicative of the move?
Not for me, no.
No, that's good.
Although what I would say is, for a new generation of fan, it would be the next level who didn't experience it. Not that I experienced a European win, but you know, the people that achieved the European win, sort of, they were alive in my kind of lifetime as a fan. So you could always revert to some people. There's a lot of people at Stratford. One never went to Upton Park. Two wouldn't even know someone like Brian Deere is and wouldn't care because the Premier League generation doesn't go further back than 1992. So for them, it will be the next level to what they've known, which is shit. So to them, it will be the next level. To us, who know football a bit better and experienced a cup in Upton Park, no, it's not the next level. And you got to brace yourself because if we do win, and let's hope we do, there's going to be a massive divide in the fan base more than ever. But there you go, that's life, isn't it?
Hey, I've just recruited someone for 6'2" to do the mock-up. So you know Adam Leatherbarrow.
I do know.
I did a story on the kit. He sent us some exclusive mock-ups for the away kit and the fur kit, which for 6'2". So we need to put some watermarks on them. So
yes, please put watermarks on them because I do see other Twitter accounts tweeting his photographs out like they own them.
yeah, I know.
So anyway,
Yeah,
I mean to answer my brother's question.
yeah. Let's do that.
No, never. Not, and the reason why I say that is because this is a tournament that was made up after we'd left the stadium, Upton Park, and it's possible that if you look at even in our last season at Upton Park, we finished 7th, which would have been good enough to qualify for this tournament if it existed. So
Yeah, and also people like mocking the Intertoto. We come 5th.
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
And we were one of what people don't realise is the Intertoto Cup. Some people will claim that as we were one of 3 winners that year because it was
Yeah.
split into groups. So it
was
wasn't
a
just one
strange one.
tournament. It was 3 separate tournaments that ran simultaneously. So there were 3 winners in a Toto Cup. The year we won it. And let's face it, Mets weren't all that. But I'll tell you what, it didn't stop us bloody celebrating.
No.
So
Before you go into the next question,
Yeah.
can I ask the Ian Dale question? Because you know I'll forget otherwise.
go on in, yeah. Okay.
So I asked Ian because if you didn't listen to the last episode, he fell up an escalator. He broke his hip over the weekend coming back from Cornwall, and he had a hip operation on Monday morning about 8:30, and he's laying in a hospital bed with Jackie Smith, the ex Home Office minister. And so I asked him. I said,
I think Jackie Smith's something to do with St Thomas's Hospital.
"Oh, is she?
Yeah, I think she's on like the board of governors there or something.
Oh, is she? I'll have to ask him that. Anyway, he's a bit bored, so I said, and he's a big time listener of this podcast, so I said, any question from your hospital bed for question time? Here's his question. I want you two to answer this. And that he's actually provided his own answer. This is where it gets a bit smutty. If you were in hospital, which West Ham employee would you most like to give you a bed bath and why?
He can't help himself. It's like fucking Charles Autry at times, isn't he?
So go on.
Right, let's think. How do I get out of this one?
Ex-West Ham player.
No, not ex-West Ham player, a West Ham
West
employee.
Ham
So it could be a
employee.
coach. It could be a
someone on the women's
director
team.
or a player. Huh? Who would you
What about someone
like
on
to
the
give you a
women's
bed
team?
bath and why?
What do you mean and why?
You ready?
Why did I
So
choose?
I'll go first. Yeah.
Go on.
Go on.
Because she don't play for West Ham anymore.
No, you
But-
can't have her. I'm having her.
No, mate. I'm sorry.
Alicia, I'm having
Alicia
Alicia.
Lehman. No.
And why?
And why, mate? Her ball skills were something to be upheld.
There you go. Len, you can't use that one now.
No, I said her first. He was
No.
shocking with her name.
No.
I knew he meant.
I had a
That was the first thing.
So, yeah. So it would be Alicia. She can bed bath me any day. Though I think I'd get more fun out of it than she would.
Well, I've got to go for Cam Brady, haven't I?
Yeah, I bet you would.
Well, you
Oh,
got
what
a choice of three,
horrible-
Sean.
What an horrible visual.
Well, what?
You getting the bed
Yeah.
bath.
Yeah. You got a choice of 3.
Who's the other two?
Well, you got the catering manager.
Oh, executive
Cov.
director Tara Warren. Yeah.
Or you got the ticketing supremo.
Oh, the director of ticketing, Nikki
Yeah.
Kay.
Yeah.
Key.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They could all 3 of them give me a
Got
bit
the
of
key to your art. Yeah.
So, do you want to know Ian Dale's answer?
Yeah, go on then. All right, Matley. You start your asthma off if you keep on.
I'd go for Lanzini, as he's good at getting in the hole behind the front too and cleaning up.
Why did you ask him for a question?
Oh dear.
I'm sorry.
Fucking hell.
We can see how his podcast is so popular.
Nice one, Ian. Nice one. I'm crying.
Oh dear.
Anyway, on with questions.
On with question time. Yeah, calm down. Next up is my mate Roger, who's messaged me. And he says, why is it no journalist, when interviewing Rice, mentions the elephant in the room? Are they briefed that he won't take questions relating to his
they are.
future?
Of course they are.
Is it a fair enough question, but it's a fair enough question, but no one is asking it?
But what's he going to say?
Well,
Is that what it says in the World Cup?
yeah.
I don't know.
I'd like to win trophies. And
Look, I have been told, and look, I got a lot of grief for posting Finley's picture of him smirking. I've been told he's not smirking, he's smiling. He was smirking when we were singing 1 more year, 2 more years.
did he not tap his head though?
Look, I didn't see that.
Mm.
And he did a lap of honour at the home, which you told me about, and then people went, "Oh, he was Hammer of the Year." Well, that's a new one. Hammer of the Year does a lap on his own. It just seemed that he was saying goodbye, and maybe we
Well,
are
he
really
did a lap with everyone,
yeah, and then he did an
got
ordinary
the
lap.
awards, and then went round on his own.
Now, I've been told by a very good source, very, very close to Declan Rice himself, there is zero, nada, no chance whatsoever of him staying. There is only one chance. You know what that is? No one bloody puts a bid in close to his value. That's the only chance.
Right, okay.
But someone is, of course they are.
Well,
What we don't know is, what we know is, it won't be Chelsea. But, it could be Bayern Munich, it could be Real Madrid, it could be Man City, it could be Liverpool, it could be Man United, and it could be Arsenal.
Newcastle.
Well, even Newcastle, yeah, why not?
He could stay at West Ham. We win
No.
the trophy, he holds
No,
it up.
no, I'm
And he
told
says-
absolutely not. Senior sources saying no. People close to Declan are saying no. All the agents are saying no. It's the biggest no that I've ever heard. Usually things aren't that definite in transfer business. This one, the seat says no. He's not around. It's all agreed.
All right, okay.
Anyway, have we asked a question yet?
That's quite definitive. Right. Next up, it's John Goodman. Who, to be fair, John, I do apologise. You do text me at times, and this is why I'm reading you out early, and I do forget because we get so many. So make sure. Apologise, John. Here we go. So Johnny text says, "I hope I'm not too late. You're not, mate. Evening, gents. If 40 points achieved, panic over." He's got a question though. Do you think Moyes' strong lineup Sunday was a little helping hand to Everton? Something we've not thought about. Keep up the good work. Best West Ham podcast out there. And he's got a PS, which is he wants a game of golf with me and you, Len.
Oh God!
So Brady out.
Brady out. By the time you got to the bottom of the question, I forgot who asked.
So he said, do we think Moyes' strong lineup Sunday was a helping hand to Everton?
Ultimately, yeah, but
Obviously,
what are we supposed to do?
when you're
You weren't
safe
safe,
and
you know.
you got a cut, and quite a few of that
Yeah.
team did play on Thursday.
Yeah. Funny how it changes so quick.
Perhaps there might be a bit in that, isn't there?
Do you like what I just sent you? The
Well, I've
Knowlesy
written the
doll.
question.
They've gone past painting. There's a Knowlesy action doll available now in
No,
West
there
Ham
isn't.
stores.
No, they're right.
Have a look. I've just sent you
Where
on
do I
WhatsApp.
see it? Oh,
It's
hang
on
on.
WhatsApp.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, West Ham ain't done that, Sean, because it's got the old
It's
badge
all
at
right.
the
It's a
bottom.
joke. Come on.
So,
Well, don't be
Don't
daft.
Don't take everything so freaking seriously.
Well, don't tell us something and then say something's a joke. Look at WhatsApp. Look, we're distracted enough as it is. I don't need a fucking WhatsApp group as well.
Yeah,
It's good though.
it is good. It is good.
Very good
it's
indeed.
amazing what you can do with 3D printing.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the questions. Only
the
47 to go.
Yeah. Adam Leverbauer did ask any news on the fan part. Well, there is.
Well, do you know what? I mean, Len has not been following the Circle of Trust, you know?
I have.
No, you haven't. You
I
said
have.
no before I answered no. It's Circle of Trust.
I know I said
You'd
no.
released- You
I
didn't
told-
know that. It was privileged information I gave you.
Yeah, but look, I said the little. I weren't sort of You know he's not going to. That's not privileged
Well, you
information.
knew. I
know
gave you privileged information earlier, and
No,
you
I
blurted
weren't
it
quoting
out.
your information.
Whose information were you quoting?
Common fucking sense is the title, cunt.
Yeah, but it's like this. Once you know, right?
Yeah, but that don't mean to say I was regurgitating. You just told people that we were regurgitating the circle of trust information.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that.
Anyway,
Other than the
there's a
fact that
question on
I
this
asked you
later
why.
from the Welshman.
All right. AR Sean on Twitter wanted to point out the as approaching the season, it looks like the smug Cockney MyWH UFC will be the closest of the Morningers podcast crew. So just for those listeners, I'll
What
read
did
it
I
out.
say though?
So George predicted that West Ham would finish 9th and win the League Cup. Johnny Bucci said 10th and win the FA Cup. Canning Town then said we'd finish 9th and win fuck all. So he's in the running.
Track.
So hold up, he's in the running for half.
I thought I said 14th.
It says 9th and fuck all.
I won't disagree with him.
Sean just said we're fucking massive, so he was obviously wrong. And I said 12th and win the UEFA Conference League. So there's two of us in the running.
I hope I'm wrong.
So Len obviously can get fuck all, though his league position will be out quite a bit. I've got a 12th and a win. The highest we can finish is 13th.
Right.
Though we are 3 points behind Chelsea, who are 12th, goal difference is far superior, and Chelsea would only need a point from 2 games, which, knowing Chelsea, they might struggle to get. Bearing in mind their midweek game in hands against Man United, there's an outside, very slim chance of 12, but it ain't happening because the goal difference is too far and excessive. So 13th and win the UECL, there'll be one place out. I will be smug about it, just to let you boys know.
Right. Welcome.
As smug as I am about my 20 odd points prediction. We'll now go whizzing over back to Facebook where we started. Michael Levy Jr. is flying over the soul singing superstar off Tenerife. But he's not going to be in Tenerife in June, people. Oh no, Michael's coming home to East London to watch the game. So he says, who's having a beer with me? So,
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Michael, I've just booked another holiday because I haven't got enough booked to Tenerife. So I'm coming with the family.
hopefully, Mike, it's that week in June.
No. This is in Easter next. So what's that? April next year. I'm coming Tenerife. I'll be staying close
books an holiday April next year.
I'd already booked one. I've booked June. I've booked July. I've booked
What are you
October.
booking holidays in
I've
the football
booked
season?
December, and now I've booked April.
right.
Will be Easter anyway.
Well, football season, mate. Who has holidays in the football season?
I do.
Oh, I couldn't.
Well, how would you fit them? How would you fit 7 or 8 holidays?
Mate,
in?
I'm working class. We have one holiday a year.
Okay. Weird.
Listen, and we were grateful at that.
You haven't even got a
Caravan.
passport, so how can you even go on
What?
holiday?
Do you know there's a thing about holidaying in this country, Sean? You should try it sometime. You might learn something.
I did in the pandemic. I went to the Isle of Wight.
Oh, there you go. You all are. The food's the same. I don't get mugged off at the Bureau de Change. I don't have to learn a foreign language or learn how to say dos
And you can't go
cervezas,
to
por
Prague,
favor.
so it's not all good.
Well, such is life, isn't it? Such is life. Maybe the fact that I can't go to Prague will open the door for one other person. So one other person will be getting there instead of me. Good luck to them.
Yeah.
But you never know. Next up. Sorry, because this cough is still hanging about. It's the Greek goddess of Forest Gate.
Belinda.
Kaikitis.
Kaikitis.
Excuse me, I've got to have some water.
Okay. Bye.
Cough still here. Evening, peeps. She says, who's going to Prague then? Do you still want Moyes to... I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of people like... Do you still want Moyes to leave? She says... And she does say, who should we keep that's out of contract in the summer? So, Sean, I'll give you the Moyes question. Do you want Moyes to leave?
Do I want Moyes to leave?
Because you are on record as saying, I still
do you
think
know
he's
what?
done enough. Shake his hand and let him go.
Yeah, I stand by that.
You
To
stand
be
by
honest, I would.
Okay.
It seems harsh,
Yes.
but if we could settle things and go, you've. Why don't you walk away at your pinnacle? You've won a Europa Conference League final. You've done really well for this club. Why don't you just retire now and be kicked upstairs and maybe have some consultant role and bring in a new
I'll
young
give you
manager?
one quick answer. Roma qualified for Europa League by winning the Conference League and now in the final of the Europa League.
Roma in the final.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know Roma were in the final. I haven't followed it at all.
And he did say, when asked on TV who his two managing heroes were Alex Ferguson and Jose Mourinho, which perhaps sums up...
Who said that?
It's like David Moyes.
He said Jose Mourinho?
Yes, Jose Mourinho.
Wow.
Yeah, because of the fact that the trophies that he wins, and he does it his way. So, we got.
And he's the one. This Mitchell.
We've
guy
got Jockey Mourinho. I nearly said something else then that might have upset Scottish people. Yeah, we got Jockey Mourinho, the Scottish cousin of Jose. And she gives us 4 kisses, 2 each for me and Len. Cheers, Belle.
Oi.
Thank you, Belle.
You're welcome. Ian Gravitt, friend of the show, says, "Can we keep the little Jewel? Can we keep little Jewel?"
I don't think he wants to stay, really, does he?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's rumours he wants to go back to River Plate, but
yeah, he always wanted to do that.
He's not going to earn much money there, is he? Let's be honest.
Oh, it's not all about money.
Okay.
All right, next up, Jack Rush.
We've got a 2-year option, by the way, just in case he does want to stay. Yeah.
All right, that's good to know. Evening, gents, says Jack. Where will Moyes' statue be built?
I don't think he's quite
by
ready.
The bins, I think.
Really?
Jack.
Let me ask you the same question back. Do you want him to stay, personally? Forget whether he wins or not, and what's the decent thing, and whether he will be. Do you want him to stay?
I'm still Moyes ambivalent. So if he stays, that's good. I'll go forward with him. If he loses his job or if he walks away, thanks a lot, Dave. We'll put you here in this. We'll forever look at your record, and you'll be in compared to. You'll definitely be in the top half of the West Ham manager tree, and probably in the top half of the West Ham manager tree. Bearing in mind that there's only been 17 of them. So Moyes will get that, but then we will move on at some point, and this is why I won't get emotionally attached to managers now, specifically ones that have got no attachment to West Ham when they turn up. And I don't think Moyes has really done well to attach himself to the fan base this year with some of his comments. I will forever be grateful for what he's done, but we move on with a new manager. That's where I am. I will defend his record, don't get me wrong, but that's more to do with, I think there was a lot of misinformation put out about him. And people confused my defence of it as a loving of Moyes, which weren't the case. It was just, you have to counteract some of the extreme sides of what was put out. So, hey ho, we've all got opinions, haven't we?
Yeah.
But Jack's got a good follow-up. He said, do you think we'll be able to enjoy the final? I can't take 90, 120 minutes of how we set out for both semis, let alone the final. And this is the thing. I can enjoy sitting there
Well, where will you
final.
be? I mean, you didn't answer Belinda's question whether anyone is going to Prague.
Well, there's
Sounds like
certain
everyone
hoops.
is.
I was spoke to talking at work. They were asking me about it, and there's stages that I have to go through.
Like getting a
Stage one
passport.
will be no, that's stage
Finish the
two.
kitchen.
No, ain't got to worry. Stage one has to be achieved this week.
Which is, it goes down to the points you've got.
Then you go to stage two.
Finish the kitchen.
No, there's no finishing the
Get a
kitchen.
pass.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
I was your wife, I'd make you finish the fucking kitchen.
Get a passport and then
Finish the
look
kitchen.
at how I'll get out there and back in 2 days.
Well, you've been offered a car ride, haven't you?
I possibly have. Well, I've been offered one.
If
yeah.
you finish the kitchen.
No, not if I finish the kitchen. No.
Okay.
Nice try.
Are you going to Prague then?
No.
The thing about it is, and what I did say at work, 'cause obviously I've got to book time off work no matter what, because believe me, I won't be going to work Thursday. Is that if that don't happen, then I will be I'll probably be the Black Lion or the Stanley in Plaistow, watching it, and then I think there'll be, I think East London pubs will be absolutely rammed out, and then party time on Green Street once we lift the trophy.
I'll be in Spain anyway, but I'll be there in spirit.
So,
did you?
We'll
Were you entered the ballot, didn't you?
I
the
did,
13,000. You got a rejection.
yeah. I mean, and this is the funny thing about it is as great Twitter is, only one West Ham fan ever coughed up an email that said he'd been lucky.
Yeah, no.
And that's when you look at it and you think, well, that's something's not right there, is it?
You don't know how many people
Hold
qualified,
up.
but 13,000
Yeah, but Sean,
tickets are available.
this was someone that entered the ballot like I did, that conditioned it only if West Ham got to the final.
Yeah, as I
So
did.
therefore,
As I
so
did.
therefore, you would expect more West Ham fans to have won tickets in that case.
Well, maybe they're not on social media. But we know other people who remain nameless that have got tickets through other sources.
Yes.
Overseas hammers,
Yeah.
So there's a way, money talks, and in a
I
final,
know someone that got tickets 4 weeks ago.
Well, yeah. Funny enough,
I mean,
who?
obviously they
we
took
were
a
sitting.
gamble.
Hang on, when we were talking to someone in the supports club that bought 2 of them 700. You were there, weren't you? Was it the same person?
So we don't talk about.
All right, we're not saying who.
Made, are we? No, but what I'm saying, they
bought
got
them legit before.
Yeah, oh no, it's legit. Not on the thing they bought. It's legit. They had to go in. I think
Neutral section, though, isn't it?
Yeah, corporate. I think.
Yeah, 700 quid
but
each.
This
Took
was before the semi-final.
Yeah. Took a chance. Now that 700 quid
Paid off.
is looking a good good gamble.
And they've actually offered me room to kit the night if I need to.
Well, that's nice. I don't know if you saw.
So when you're popular, Sean, people actually do things. Like that.
Well, do you know what? So I looked on before I went on Talk TV yesterday. I looked at the prices. The cheapest ticket you can buy, with restricted view, was £1,864. I bet that went fast. Yeah, but the most expensive ticket was £17,500 in VIP hospitality.
That's crap and whatever. There are probably, there are people out there that have got more money.
Of course, there always is,
and that will pay that. The aim of my life is to pay, obviously, due to my upbringing, the bare minimum to get in to see a game. Though in the cup final and in the playoff finals, I did buy the dearest ticket I could buy because it was a final. But obviously, I would never do that.
So are you going to go or not?
Well, it's Thursday.
If he finishes
the
the
day
kitchen.
out. No, Thursday's the answer, isn't it? If it drops down low enough.
Yeah, 30. You
So-
see the things came out. 31 points. It will drop down.
Well, yeah, but I've got more than that.
31.
So there's three.
So they've done it a weird way, which I think I
Yeah,
quite
I'm
like.
surprised.
I quite like that though.
Do you?
Well, obviously, because it means
You got to be on. But you got to sort of be available to jump on at a particular time.
Well, yeah, I've got to wait for the email from the club, haven't I?
Yeah. Oh, I bet you there are a lot of people. Look,
No,
I'm
and this
not-
is
I'm
the
not-
thing.
I'll
I'll be
be honest,
surprised. The
I'm not-
rumour is 35 would be the cut-off.
I'm not going to pull any favours. All right.
Oh,
So-
actually, and this is the thing, 31. When people are going, it's going to go to 35. Well, they're selling 31, so I think it was 56. Get first dabs. I mean, how many fans have got over 56 points?
not many.
A few hundred.
Anyway, my point is, I'm not going to pull any favours. I don't want to deprive someone of a ticket that
No.
they could have got. But there's plenty of people out there that will, YouTubers, ex-players, and other minor, certain people. I'm not going to name them. And people
Well,
have.
Chesney Hawks won't because he's playing the fan park apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there you go. All those
I
in the
thought there
fan park.
weren't a fan park.
In Prague there is.
I see one person who's got one
okay.
already.
Right.
Is and I'm gonna call his name out because he gave us a bit of a dig yesterday, and that's Graham Howlett. He's got his ticket already.
He gave us a dig out.
Yeah.
Why,
When
what did he
we
say?
posted a picture of he gave us a dig yesterday when we posted a picture of John Ratomski in the middle of me and you at the sports club. He said a rose between two thawns.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I don't class that as a dig.
No, that's not
He
it.
gave us a dig.
Well, yeah, but I like Graham.
Yeah, well, I like Graham too.
So
East End humour. Anyway, he's going
I would have put it
He's going.
stronger than that.
how do you know he's going?
because he's posted it.
Oh, is he?
He's,
Well,
a bond,
it's a
he's a bond holder anyway.
How? Right, okay. So
He's a
how do
bond
people
holder.
know they're going? Oh, it's bond holder.
He's a bond holder, so he's already bond holders opened up today at 12 noon. That's how he knows.
Oh, okay. Right. So,
This is
so
the
the
thing where I get the thing. With the club and bondholders, now 880 bondholders, yeah?
808, I think.
All right.
can you only buy one ticket?
Yes,
Did the club limit one ticket per bond?
usually yes.
Or
Yeah.
one
Oh,
ticket?
sorry, one ticket per bond. Yes,
One ticket per bond or one ticket per bond holder?
one ticket per bond holder. Yes, is my understanding.
Right.
And by the way,
So if a bondholder's got 3 or 4 tickets,
yeah, they can get one per bond. Yeah.
right? So they can't, and this is the thing. I don't think legally they can say, "Oh, there's only 300 tickets for bondholders."
Well, that's what they've done in the past. For other UEFA, they've said first come, first served. They've been quite honest about this. Now, usually,
But
there's
that
an upper
goes
limit
against the
of, like-
terms and conditions of
Well, that's
the
the way
bonds.
they do it, and the same as the club London members. Usually, we've heard whispers that they've got an allocation of 500 for the final, which is 10%, and it will become on a ballot basis.
It's 5,000. I don't think that's right, Sean.
Well, it's 4,890 is official allocation, but my understanding is
no, there's 5,000 people in Club London.
no.
you're wrong,
What I
Sean.
said was 10% of the total allocation
Oh, right.
is
Yeah.
going to. If 500 are going to Club London,
Yeah.
that's 10% of the whole allocation is going to Club London.
Hmm.
There's 3,600 people in Club London, by the way, assuming that it's sold out.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Now, whether 10% going to Club London is fair, considering they don't represent 10% of the season ticket holders, is another question. How many? What happens if all 808 bondholders want a final ticket? Is it fair that all of them get a ticket?
Terms and conditions of owning a bond, Sean.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Here's the funny thing. It doesn't say anything about Europa Conference League in the same way.
Well, of course
None
not,
of
Sean,
the
because
players, by the way, none of the players have any clauses for winning the conference
But hold
because
up,
it didn't
Sean,
exist.
Sean, in regards to bond, yeah, it doesn't specify Cup finals.
Doesn't it
say
actually
FA
specify
Cup.
away tickets? It specifies Bowling Ground, is my
Cup.
understanding.
Well, listen,
Never was intended to be
no, I know. You
ahead
don't
of the
need
queue.
to educate me about the bond scheme.
Yeah, but what you're suggesting, the terms and conditions says that they get the right to every ticket first before anyone else. I'm not sure that's right.
I'll let you know.
Have you got terms and conditions of the
Yeah,
bonds?
I've got.
Oh, I'd like to read it.
Yeah.
I'll give you my expert opinion.
So, but the thing, what happened was though, is that this was, I believe, given to the bondholders once the scheme was closed.
Well, and some of this is rights of when it moved, but you might be right. Let's read the terms and conditions. Let me ask you a question, because then we really need to get back to questions.
Yeah.
Len, would you
Yeah.
buy a bond if it was offered to you
Well,
and you had the money? Forget about how much. Would you buy a bond if it was offered to you now?
I don't really have the desire to go to as many away games and situations like this to have one, really.
Okay. Same question, Nigel.
I'm not the best person to ask.
As someone that was once told of an opportunity to buy a bond, and passed up on it
How much?
out of points of principle, well,
Then no.
Then no. My view
What's my
is,
answer then, Nigel?
my view is you would buy one. My
all
view
day
is,
long. All day
is
long.
that the original bondholders, not those that have subsequently bought after, that those that bought during the bond scheme betrayed the fan base, and the luxuries afforded in a bond, all the good stuffs appears to be added after the scheme was defeated as a thank you to the 800.
Yeah. So what? Get over it. Move on. We can't still be
I would
moaning
guess,
about
Sean,
the
that
bond
you
scheme.
didn't live through it at West Ham at the time and
Well,
what it meant.
you know what? I was around it and everything, but it didn't affect me because I wasn't a
Well,
season
Sean,
ticket
no,
holder.
and that's the thing then.
But
I
you
would
weren't a
argue,
season.
without giving you an history, hold up,
You
without
weren't
giving
a
you an
season
history
ticket
lesson.
holder, were you, at the time?
Sean, hold up a minute, yeah?
Were you a season ticket
Do you want
holder?
me to give you an history
Were
lesson?
you
Do you want me to give you an history? All right. Well,
Were
look,
you a season ticket holder
well,
at the time?
No, Sean, I went every game. You didn't need a season ticket to stand on the
exactly,
hold up.
exactly.
Sean, no, not exactly, because this is where you're fucking uneducated.
Well,
and
I
this is
went
the point,
at that time
Sean.
with John, and we turned
Sean,
up every game
listen
and went
to
in and
me
played
what
on
the
bloody
fucking
gate.
club were going to do and why there was riots
I know
and
the
protests.
fucking history. You
No,
don't
you
need to give me
don't,
a
because
lesson.
you wouldn't make a fucking stupid comment like that.
But it didn't affect you personally.
Sean, of course it affected me fucking personally, because the club was saying, the club came out and said, if you can't buy a bond, the stadium was going to be converted into a 25,000 seater, all-seater stadium, and the only way you would get a seat was by buying a bond. The only way to buy a bond was to give the club up front either 500, 750.
Never believed it.
What do you mean never believed it, Sean? I got all the fucking evidence.
I never believed. I know that's what they said, but
oh, fuck off, Sean! You really have now fucking pissed me off.
What?
Because are you that fucking naive to think they wouldn't have done it?
I don't.
They
think
were paying fucking Brooklyn money. Billy Bonds wheeling them all out, right, to go and do it. Yeah, this was what the fans defeated. It was a fight for the right to attend a game without the club forcing a tax on us, because that's what they were doing. The bond scheme was made for 25,000 bonds because it was going to be a 25,000 seater stadium. That was how the scheme was set up.
I know that. And
well, if you want to fucking remember back then and engage your brain.
Do you remember what I remember, right? And if we go back to the beginning of this conversation, you're right. Myself and John used to turn up every game, never has a season ticket.
And that would have ended.
Maybe maybe I was naive, but at the time when that bond stuff was coming on, I didn't worry. And maybe I was naive at the time that I never thought it would ever affect me.
Well, it would have done.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing. It didn't though, you know?
No, Sean, it didn't, yeah, thanks to the fans that stood up against it.
No,
Do
but
you know
hang on a
what? I
minute.
walked away from West Ham for 4 months.
Was it the
Because
fans
there
that
was
stood
there was
against
there was
it?
an organised move to say, right, and you can look at the attendances, yeah, that what happened is, and yeah, I went back after 4 months, yeah,
Okay, but
but I stayed away. I
was it
supported
fan
the not
power,
go.
or was it people just didn't do take up because they weren't? It didn't
No,
seem a great
Sean, and
investment.
this is where I'd go, oh, was you really around at the time? Was you
I was
there?
around at the
Right,
time.
well then you would fucking know that the anger of the fan base, Sean, you don't have people running on a fucking pitch doing sit-down protests. And
Oh
let's
yeah, of course
face
I
it,
remember.
a lot of the protests came in a season when we get relegated. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you could have actually argued that the atmosphere around the club was toxic, and that contributed to us going down. Don't fucking care. Yeah, it was toxic for a reason.
To be honest, I've enough problem remembering last year, never alone in the bloody 90s. So
Don't pick an argument with me then.
Can I remind you both that I'm recovering from a migraine?
yeah, sorry. It's usually you that goes off on mine.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I feel quite proud that
Did you enjoy that, Olin?
I've pushed Nigel's buttons this week. So
My
I'll take that with a little bit
concentration
of
is
pride.
so bad, and it's only because of that. And everyone contacted me once. It isn't stopping.
No.
It's not stopping.
Turn your phone off, son. Best way.
I'm
to
not
get
talk-
stopped.
I have turned my phone off.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about your phone. I'm talking about the screen that's in front of me as well.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Moving.
Yeah,
If
no,
You
anybody
calm
wants to
down now.
ask me about the bond scheme, feel free. I've got the
This is going to be
prospectus.
a long podcast. I'm thinking to myself, do I get in touch with?
You could have done a painting
could've-
while this podcast was going on, mate. I'll tell
Well,
you.
I could roll on to sort of do the Jonathan Ross's brother show, whose name I forgot. I'm so
Paul
out of
Ross.
form.
Paul Ross.
Paul Ross, yeah, but no.
Matty Kemp. Evening, gents, says the Spandau Ballet Roader. New director of football. Does that mean Rob Newman leaves?
Oh,
Noble
no.
gets a different role, and Moyes says it's time to move on. Head back home to Lancashire.
No, yes, no. Did I get that in the right order?
Okay. There you go. Mark Flynn says, oi, oi, fellas. So who does Moyes go with in the final? Kufau or Kera at right back? Ben Rama or Fornals left midfield? Fabianski or Areola in goal? He said he thinks the rest of the team picks itself. Hope we play with the handbrake off. Brady out, something like that. Moyes out. Right, Sean.
Everyone out.
Yeah.
Kufau or Kera?
Sufal.
Okay. Len, Benny or Fornals?
Oh, Fornals
Microphone.
coming into form. Sorry,
right.
I had to move. I'm
Stop
getting
moving.
numb
I've
arse.
told you this
We've
before.
got Kufau and we've got Fornals, and as much as it pains me to say, I start the final with Areola.
You got to.
But in the
Couldn't.
119th minute, if it's a draw, I'm bringing Fabianski on as a sub.
What about if we use our windows, though?
No, I would keep one back. I would be saving
Any
that.
chance of that?
Can I ask you a quick question
Yeah.
related to this?
Yeah.
Would you 40? I misspoke last week when I said you have to have 5 appearances for the Europa Conference League. You get 40 medals, winners or runners up, to give out how you want.
Yeah.
Would you give a medal to? And there's enough to give out to everyone that played. I worked it out, right? All the coaches, everyone who's played even a minute, and Fabianski, who's not played a single minute, by the way, but you can still give him one. Would you give one to Dawson and Harrison Ashby?
Dawson, yes. Ashby, how many games did he play?
2.
2.
No?
No, probably not.
Len?
Would they get a medal?
Well,
Yeah.
we get 40 medals. We can give them out. Both Harrison Ashby, who left, and Craig Dawson both played.
I didn't realise that was a situation. You get the medals and you give them out.
You do, yeah.
Oh, you're going to get a medal then, Sean, by the
Well-
sounds of it.
Well, you get 40 medals, and the rules. I looked this up because I thought.
Don't give them ideas, Lem. For
You
Christ's
get
sake.
40
No, I
medals,
realised what I said then.
and
You got to
literally,
give Nosey a medal.
you got to get. That's it. There would be one left. You could give it to, David Sullivan could get one. Karen Brady could get one.
Don't,
You
Sean.
can give them out to anyone. So, do you give one out to Craig Dawson
Why?
and the
How
Harrison
does
Ashby?
it get like this? How do things get so fucking stupid? That you give them out like a fucking booty bag at the end of a party?
Yeah, well, that's UEFA. That's the same, by the way, for
Fucking hell.
Europa League and Champions League, by the way. So, if Adrian got one, he did, didn't he?
Adrian,
For when he went to Liverpool.
he saved the penalty in the Super Cup, didn't he?
He had Super Cup, but he got one for one he didn't play in, I know.
Yeah, he got
okay.
a Champions League.
Did he
Rob
really?
Green got a UEFA Cup winners medal.
Yeah.
I remember
anyway.
going
Third
up,
choice
that was-
keeper. So,
I don't know how I feel about that. Well, yeah, I do know how I feel about that. I think you just heard it, but I'm going to be mean and say no.
Okay. To both, including Dawson. Okay,
No,
fair enough.
No, give him a medal. Go on, this
how
not.
many, all right, Sean, just tell me, how many games did Dawson play?
4.
Then yeah, I would. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
stick with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've been generous and, I did this piece on 6'2" and given it to every single kid that played, even if they played for a minute. 5 kids played for 1 minute. David Moyes bought them on literally for 1 minute. Skulls and I can't remember all of them, but he's bought.
I mean, that does seem a bit harsh on Ashby then,
Yeah.
to be honest. I mean, I'm not saying no because I'm bitter about him leaving or whatever. He was free to do with whatever. It was just, I just felt on 2 games,
Where
really.
did he go to Leeds?
Newcastle.
Newcastle, right.
Doing well there, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah.
But not in the senior team, though.
No.
Yeah.
My top mate, Adam Levitt, has asked, will they be wearing a new kit in the cup final, Sean? What's
No.
happening with the new kit? I thought it'd been out by now.
Well,
Obviously, Paquetar's missus have got her own.
well,
on
it's
the
not
few.
true, by the way. I don't know why. I asked someone at the club and said, "No, that's not the new kit." Ha ha, nice try. Look, as I said, I did a story today, quoting Adam's mock-up, which I'm told is very accurate.
Who told you that?
X told me that,
Right,
who's
okay.
seen an original.
No, right.
And other people who were at the Carpenter's Arms have told me it's very accurate as well. So,
What's the point? I don't understand.
well, because some people obsess about new kits and the leaking. It's all a game.
I must admit, I don't, and this does baffle me. The fact that we get a new kit every year, why people get hung up about the kit.
Well, because it's just a bit of knowledge is power, and
Is
the
there any
leaking. It's
chance-
all part of entertainment. Kits
there
are
any-
fun.
Is there any chance? I'm wondering if you asked anyone at the club that we may do the same as 76 by getting a new kit for the final and not playing in that god awful white and yellow. one,
No. We'll be
God.
playing in one of the existing kits.
Which would be white and yellow.
I don't know.
Burnt orange, if you don't mind.
I will send you. Adam's
Orange.
just sent me the mock-ups for the away kit and the third kit now. So I'll
How does Adam know?
He just knows. He knows people who knows people. It's based on descriptions of people who've seen
There you
them.
go. Ed Hughes.
Loves a bit of scribble.
That's a bit of squirrel.
Fine artistry, Len. Well done.
Thank you.
He then
Thank
doubles up with a question we've already answered because he says, with Declan, who do we think will make captain? So, you've heard us earlier. I refer you to the questions we gave earlier.
We gave
as they say
some.
in
We answered
Parliament.
some moments ago.
But thanks, Ed, anyway, for popping in. Uncle Ted Sexton, Dave's son, my good old mate. Evening, gents. It's been a great week. The team seems up for the final games. He says, question is, if Rice leaves, what's the odds he scores against us in the first game he plays?
Well, it's going to happen. He doesn't score that many goals, to be fair.
No, but even Rio scored against Rio, who scored I think only 2 games for West Ham, scored in his first game back for Leeds. Though Rio was gracious enough not to celebrate,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he's header. And then unlike obviously Frank, who celebrated like shit.
You couldn't fucking stop.
Well, we wound him up.
Next up, it's Shingle, or Keith Beach, as he likes to be known. I think he was related to Don from the Bill. And little fascinating facts. Billy Murray, big West Ham fan. Don Beach in the Bill was going to be was one of the people to be Del Boy in Fools and Horses. And
he was.
No, he was. And thanks to him being in a play, that when the scout went to watch him in the play, they spotted Roger Lloyd Pack also in the same play. And that's how he got to roll the trigger.
That's true.
That is, yeah, that's true. So so Billy Murray was one of the names penciled in. Of course, who they actually really wanted to be Del Boy ended up playing the horrible copper.
Yeah. Chief
Jim
Inspector
Broadbent.
Slater.
Yeah, Slater was Jim Broadbent. He was supposed to be Del Boy.
Yeah.
But he couldn't do it. There you go.
He turned
but
it down, actually.
It's not a Fools and Horses podcast, I think, as they say. David James has popped in. Great save, JMO. Thank you for this. Even Boys, thank you for another great year in the podcast, says JMO. I listen on the train every week, and whenever I have it on, people always look at me and wonder why I'm smiling so much. He has got a question. Is Paqueta buyer of the season? Now he's found his feet in the Premier League. And do we expect him to keep on? He's given the best wishes to all of us, but especially to myself and Len. Thank you, Dave, from Australia.
Thank you,
Down
Dave.
under. G'day, mate. Throw a shrimp on the barbie. So, Paqueta, buyer of the season. So, if you look at all our transfers, Sean first, pick. All right, who's your best buy? Just from the transfers this season.
Well, it's got to either be, pound for pound. I don't know. Agur I think is good.
Mm-hmm.
But Paquetá obviously came at a very expensive price.
Well, Gerd weren't cheap.
Well, no, and £7 million agent fee, but
Yeah.
I don't know, that magic of. I'm gonna go Paquetá.
Then
Paquetá.
yeah, I think he is, and as we've said before, that the only real disappointment from all that, people do moan he spent £200 million, he wasted £200 million. Well, it was only Scamacca really out of that 30-odd million that ain't coughed up.
Yeah, to
Come
be
on,
honest,
have a little bit of faith.
Kehrer and Emerson are sort of coming good now.
So it's not.
Areola, has done great in Europe.
So there you go. And the only other one's that Brazilian, who I know he didn't cost a lot of money, but what the bloody hell is he doing?
Who?
The defender. We bought a Brazilian defender who's about 20.
Who?
What do you mean who? Go and look his name up. I don't know if it's Paulina or something like that.
No, I don't remember him.
All right, there you go. While I read the next question, Sean, get on the internet.
All right, okay.
Jeffrey L. Smith, which I believe we did find out the L meant Lee. Evening, all this is great pod. Thank you for. Will there be specials over the summer? Every show special.
So there will be,
Jeff.
yeah.
But do you think me and Len are going to stop?
No.
Ain't no way.
Well, you have a little bit of a break. I've got quite a few holidays.
Well, but we'll do. We'll bring back the old propagandas.
Oh, nice.
There's a couple of people I can line up I'm sure we can think of a
Oh,
few
we didn't
others.
mention Cornet, did we?
No, he's not a bad sign.
Jury's still out. Danny Ings, whether that was a good value. Flynn Downs, we didn't mention.
Well, no, I think that's okay. I think they're okay transfers.
That centre back was a free transfer.
All right.
Lucio,
There you go. Soldier.
the 20-year-old. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
all about him.
There you go. Yeah.
But he
so's the
was a
club.
free transfer.
Oh, that's lucky.
Yeah, you're not heard him. I mean, Is he? He's 21 now.
Right. So Jeffrey's got a question.
Yeah, go on.
I suppose
The
ties in.
21s.
Will this season's new signings be stars of next season or be sold? Brady out, Lynn and Nigel in.
Brady out.
Brady. Bath.
Yeah.
Bed bath.
We won't know, will we really? I've got a feeling someone might come in for the Ketter.
Yeah, that's my concern.
And I wonder if he'll have the minerals to turn
I
it
think
down.
someone may come in for Gurr as well, you know, Len.
It's not a bad shout either. I forgot he was one this season as well.
So we could have 200 million. If you look at it with the sour rice, the sour players, and a transfer kitty from the thing, you know, you could be looking at a 200 million kitty.
You know, I said 150 million yesterday.
Yeah, well, if you're selling a Gerd and...
I don't think you will want to sell a Gurr.
No, but if we do, you know, there's some
Fucking
money there.
stay still, Len. Fucking stay still.
Next up, it's good, mate. It's good to see you, Dave. It's old Aladdin saying himself. Ziggy Stardust, Davy Jones.
He's
Evening,
an
all.
alligator!
There you go. Far better than I can ever do it. He's the man that fell to earth, and all the other things we could do. It's been a pretty good week to be a West Ham fan, and we should probably make the most of it. It was good to get a win for the last home game, and it should help to keep the momentum going. Given that, if you was Moyes, this is the question I believe, would you keep a fairly strong side for Leicester or take the opportunity to play somebody you've scored? Brady out. Best wishes to you and Molly, Dave, and we'll see you next year. And you might be seeing someone else as well.
Might be.
So, right, Len, strong team or kids for Leicester?
They're tough questions tonight.
No yellow cards so far.
It's not the tiredness, it's the injury. It's the fact that Leicester are going to be reeled up for it at home. No, I think you feel the strong team. And then I think him. Oh, I'm glad I'm not a football manager. Strong team. Strong team.
That's good. Schonenstein.
What's the question?
Were you picking a strong team or playing
Strong team.
kids against Leicester?
Strong team. I think you will.
I would play strong team because obviously I want 43 points and my moral victory.
You want a bit of even though it's a loss.
Yes, even though it's a moral victory. Next up,
I'd love to see you have this argument with the tax man. Yeah, I know.
No,
I'm close.
Yeah, I can tell you.
I done better than I thought I did.
Yeah, I can tell you how that argument ended. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I lost.
Yeah.
Believe me, I lost.
Oh well.
Well, we won't go there. Just in case anyone from that scum-sucking, life-threatening fucking place listens. And if you're a tax man, go piss yourself. Steve Mothersoul.
Hello, Steve.
Says he ain't got a question. He wants to just compliment Len on his wonderful paintings. Brady out. Thanks for that, Steve. Even though it weren't a question, I really do appreciate the fact you come on and said that. Next up, someone who's a bit greedy asking 3 questions, but the first one's really good. So it's Marion Williams.
Oh.
Oh boy, he's the Welshman
I read
from the
this, yeah.
valleys of Herefordshire. And for those that know their geography, that's in England, people. So, Marion says, what would you call someone who just 10 minutes into the game on Sunday left the stand to get a burger as he couldn't wait until half time?
Sean? Would you call him
One
Sean?
word answer, please. And then
I'll call him Sean. That
Finley.
sounds like Sean.
And then Smith.
Right. Let me tell you about my 16-year-old son, right? We're going to the game. I say, please eat before you leave. Please bring a battery, right? Meet me at Waterloo. Arrives at Waterloo. Have you got your battery for your phone? No. What you on? 50%. Did you eat breakfast? No, I didn't. So we go to Supporters Club. No food there, as you know. We were drinking.
Why was there no food there?
Well, there was food there.
Oh,
just
but you
couldn't
got to queue up.
order it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we get to the ground and he goes, can you get me some food now? I said, no, piss off. You go and do it. And there was a massive queue at the salt beef bagel. No, sorry, salt beef brioche roll. And he kept on at me. He kept on at me. I said, oh, can't you just go? So in the end, just to shut him up, there was no queue. I did go out while it was play and bought a salt beef bagel. Brioche roll
Bagel.
for my son, dropping mustard on my top as I brought it out to him. It was not for me, it was for my son. So there you go. That's what
Sean.
having a 16-year-old son is like.
So no. And this is the thing, yeah?
Go on.
You probably spoilt your kids. Rod for your own back. I'm sorry. My kids, never. My daughter wanted something at football. You go sling your hook. Yeah? No.
You're probably right, and probably I should have just said.
Mate, he's 16.
Yeah.
I
He's got his own.
spent
He's got his
2
own Revolut
years bunking
card.
off school, riding the tube network of London
No,
to
you're
see
right.
what
I should have just
Acton
said.
and Wimbledon
Why
and
should
Ealing
I?
Broadway looked
Look, there's another thing. Because I've been drinking at the supporters club, I also needed a bit of a slash as well. So I was sort of fitting both in, you know. In fact, I had to go quite a few times, you know. Not when you get a bit older, your bladder can't hold that much drink.
Yeah, I did all right. I did nearly half
Oh,
time.
you have to come along. Do you have to come all the way down to it?
No, we've got toilets up on the
Oh,
balcony.
all right, okay. How many times do you have to go?
Only the once.
Okay.
Then again, I've conditioned my body, Sean, that I have me morning Jimmy Riddle,
Yeah.
and then because I don't like using public toilets really, I don't go again till I get home.
You wait till you get like John and get prostate problems. You'll be
that
going
could be
about
14
15
hours
times.
some
Eh?
days.
You'll be like John. You go 15 times.
Yeah, no. So anyway, Marian says, did the podcast team feel like Frankenstein this year, creating the monster that is Dodsey?
Now that one's right. That's
After his photos this week with a certain Met Officer, do you think he's undercover?
Do you know? Again, Finley took that with his digital SLR.
Yeah. Which he done well, hasn't he? Eh?
He did well. He really did
To
well.
get into the stadium. Sean.
Yeah, well, he got told how to do that. That's hilarious. He's put it under your coat and get it.
Did you like that?
I'm sure you would have got it through anyway. But when we arrived at Supporters Club at 12 o'clock, where's Dodsey? Well, he's out. We're having an old chinwag with Andy Sheldon, the Met Officer.
Ooh.
And so I get Finley to take a picture, and he's talking and going, yeah, Andy. And then, so anyway, Dodsey goes, I'll be in a minute. So I meet up with Nigel, and we get a jug, and the queue was, quite big. And I said to Nigel, where's Dodsey? He went, well, he's working the crowd. And I promise you, he was holding audience with groups of people and working the crowd as he walked. It's like a politician in like a presidential, working the crowd. Hi, people, kissing babies, shaking hands.
Oh,
that's what Dodsey's like that.
Sean,
well,
I was getting texts.
I know.
Of people in Holland who had their photo done with
So
Dodsey. So we see your mate Dodsey out there, and I had another mate, and other people were sending me, "Oh, see your mate. Look who I bumped into out here." And you think, "Oh, like some of my mates, like."
Oh my, we had Dodsey told some stories. It's lucky you weren't there, Len.
Yeah.
He told us some stories about Amsterdam. It's lucky you weren't there.
Yeah.
Prostitutes.
No, nothing as bad as that. But What goes on Dam stays in Dam.
Yeah.
Then
He don't just fucking stay in down with him.
we'll tell you off air.
And then he says, thanks to the Stooge, he said, for telling us about the Inner Circle Trust. He said, what he wants to know is, do we have membership cards designed by Len or digital download? Do we have a secret handshake or wear Illuminati robes or a penny?
He feels left out, doesn't he? There's a bit
yeah.
jealousy there.
It does.
He
yeah.
wants to be in the circle of trust, doesn't he?
To be fair, there's more chance of Dodsey getting kicked out than there is of you getting in, Mike.
Yeah.
To be
But
honest.
sometimes I don't think Dodsey understands the circle of trust.
Yeah.
He don't understand much, to be honest.
No.
But
Don't
he-
understand reading through
I
the-
be from the country, though, don't I?
Good God.
Hey.
before he
I-
joined the circle of trust, was it ever a conversational group? It wasn't,
No.
was it? No.
Sit there, shut up, and listen.
Exactly. He hasn't got
Yeah.
that yet, has he?
Fucking wants to be everyone's mate, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Does he not know about
We have-
EastEnders? We don't like strangers.
He
don't like people that talk to us.
we have
Don't talk
created
to
a
me.
We have created a monster, though. I do agree.
Fucking hell.
Fucking
Yeah,
monster.
that was
Proper
a
looks
bad
like one and
idea,
all as well.
inviting me and him in.
It'd be like the monster that was created by Judith Chalmers, though, wouldn't he?
How long do you think it's before we get sort of Dodsey branding, and there's the YouTube?
Well, I already fucking
website.
started it, but you won't let me. Should I
Dodsey.
put it on the group?
No.
I've put Nigel's up. Never put Dodsey's up.
So you can see it now. T-shirts with pictures,
Dodsey.
Len's picture of
Yeah.
Dodsey. All right,
putting it
my
up.
handsome.
I'm doing it now.
He's probably trademarked "All Right, My Handsome" as well. I mean, it's
Fucking
yeah.
hell, another one I started. Dear, oh dear.
putting it
Stelios has come in with a question all the way from
Cyprus.
Cyprus.
Yeah, I spoke
Yeah.
to him. He missed the Leeds game. I heard.
Moyes in or Moyes out, he said. Of course you spoke to him, Sean. You're after tickets. Moyes in or Moyes out?
Well,
Why do we have to be? Why?
Yeah, why do you
You
have to
don't.
be something?
Yeah, why
He's
do you have to
another
ask that?
fucking
He's
attention-seeking
obsessed.
prick.
He's obsessed.
What's
with
your
Moyes.
name, Nick?
Fuck's sake.
What's your name,
Yeah,
Nick?
dear,
Nick?
oh
Is that
dear.
Nick? Oh no, it's Stelios.
Next up, we won't even give that credence with an answer because we've answered it
Yeah.
already. Paul, the Colonel's in. Oh, Mr. Sanders. Evening, says Paul. Lots of things I want to say. Luckily, you don't. He said, but I'm sure others will. But I'm interested to know where you're all going to watch the final. Where's the best place to watch the game in London? Any suggestions? Black Lion, the Vic Tavern, or the Stanley, if you're going to do a pub, East London. Don't bother with the bowling. They don't like football in there. As lovely as a pub it is now, funny enough.
Beautiful.
And they will show the rugby, says it all. But and then after, if we win, Paul, we can all congregate up by the statue, I think, and see if we can shut Barking Road again.
Paul isn't saying if he's going on his own or with people.
No,
That's the
what
important
it said.
thing
He
to
just
know.
said, where's the best place to watch the game in London?
Who said that?
Colonel Sanders.
Oh, I had someone say that about. Oh no, I've lost. Do you know what? My phone's died. It's been so long. Someone was asking me about where to watch it in Colombia.
All right, Bogota.
Blimey.
Yeah.
I'll be in.
I always think that maybe Medellin would be better. I think they've got a nicer beach in Medellin.
Well, I'll be in Spain, so if anyone wants to go down the sports bar in Fingarola, that's where I'll be on the final night. So hopefully,
Who's
it'll be
Ola and why are you fingering her?
Fingarola.
Is that in
Do you know-
Spain, is it?
It is, yeah.
Whereabouts?
Costa del Sol, basically.
Or was it?
Yeah, not about 40 minutes away from Malaga.
Oh, south, like down the south.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm not Spanish like that one.
Well, you haven't got a passport, no wonder.
I have had passports in the past.
Have you? Why? Because you only go.
Well,
Have you
obviously
ever
when I
been
went
abroad?
to Germany to watch the football? I went
Oh,
abroad.
right. Oh, well done.
2019.
Probably went to Boulogne on a school trip.
That was my first.
Been to Calais on a school trip.
I've been to. No, we
Bought a
went to
flick
Boulogne.
knife, bought some bangers.
Went to Boulogne.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun enough. Yeah, off the dodgy Africans on the quayside. Yeah, I went to Boulogne. Yeah, I know we did went abroad as a kid.
Yeah.
You know,
Isle of
been
Wight.
about. Egypt. We went Isle of Wight a couple
You
of
went
times.
to Egypt?
On my honeymoon. Yeah.
Oh,
Down the
nice.
Nile.
Nice.
Yeah. Got the night boat to Cairo.
Mm.
Do, 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 do.
There you go. Captain Jack Morgan. Arr, evening, chaps, he says. With the last two games of the season, durably a week and a half apart. Oh, he's got another. Did we play our best team Leicester against Leicester, sorry, or build momentum or risk potential injury? Or play a change team? Also, we've answered that, Jack, so I'll skip to notice Skamaka's Instagram post. What do we think this means, if anything? Sean?
Well, I haven't seen it actually.
Oh.
I mean,
The
I saw
nosy
the one
one.
on Nosy, but
Is that what he means?
what does he mean?
I don't know.
It's sometimes hard to keep up with all the
We'll
Insta.
find out. Hey, Sean.
He
says-
said real hammer with
Oh.
Nosy and
I think that's
Oh.
what the question he asked, right?
Perhaps he was in the crowd.
who?
Skamaka, he might have been sitting there.
A Scamak. Oh well, yeah, I did wonder whether he flew over.
Yeah.
I didn't see any footage of him.
I heard he was there.
He could have been.
Well, A.R. Sean said, what happened to the Lapnik Army of the London Stadium between Nigel and Sean?
Oh,
To be fair,
go on. Be
A.R.,
fair.
there's no contest really at the moment. By looking at the condition of Mr. Whetstone, and when I factor in his asthma, I think I could walk it quicker than he could run it.
So he's got a picture. Skamaka 7 hours ago. He's got a picture of his back garden saying London, England. I don't know what that means. That's his story. Huh?
All right. He's got a back garden. I thought he lived in a flat. He's done well.
Well, he's got a back garden.
What was he?
Who told you he lives in a flat?
Well, I just gathered that he was in Stratford.
Well, he's
I
not.
thought he'd be in Docklands.
A lot of footballers live in flats now, Sean.
Yeah, and
Even though his mama might be over now.
And his last picture is back in. His last post is that one back on grass in Italy. So, yeah, he's London, England, and a picture of some skies and some grass. I don't know what that means. That's anybody's guess.
Okay, next up is Grant, the old carrot cruncher himself. Grant Cruxford from Bicester in Oxfordshire, or Oxon, as they like to call it for some reason. Evening all, he says, fit and raring to go this evening. Silly season started. He said, I can't wait to see which of the 374 players we'll be linked with and that we actually sign. It then says, for strangers, BFS found a fiver on the touchline yesterday. So my question is, what's the strangest thing you ever found at a football match? Oh, excuse me, people. Brady out, Sullivan out, Moyes
Yeah,
in.
everyone out.
Ever found anything strange at a football match?
Yeah, my button. I lost at Upton Park, the last season of Upton Park. I lost my button in the Spurs game, right? And when I went back for the Man United game, I think it was the Man United game, wasn't it? It might have been 2 games after. I found it where it fell, which made me think they can't sweep the terrace up anymore.
All right.
That's the strangest thing.
Sean, anything?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, the strangest thing I did find, old days of the South Bank and terraces, is a 2-litre bottle of piss. Someone had pissed. Remember?
Sean, that's not bad. They put it in a bottle because
Yeah.
I could tell you a story about it.
I'm sure,
I remember standing there watching him just pissing on the terrace.
Well, I know, and I always talked about that. Sometimes you never put your coat on the ground in the old terrace days in the 80s because people used to piss and it used to trickle down like a waterfall because you didn't want to use a place. If you lost your place, you had a good place, you would never get back there again. Would you agree? Nigel. You
No,
just
you had to be,
it was quite
well,
random.
I used to stand next to the walkway so I could slip out and run down and then
Well,
run
I'd
back
stand
up.
in front of the blue barriers or the
Yeah.
claret barriers, only because when they sung "Knees Up Brown," there would be a push, and you could get if you were in front of a barrier, you'd get squashed. But anyway, I was next to one of these barriers, and then literally, I kid you not, there was a water bottle, 2 litre water bottle, and it was full to the top with piss. And you're thinking, how did they do that? Did they just stand there and like
Yes.
aim it into a bottle?
Well, no, yeah, just hold it up and. Yeah,
I know. So that's the strangest thing I've found at a football match.
I'm trying to think of what I've ever. The only thing I go with, which might not be strange, but I did, which lucky me, it was the season ticket.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, once. Yeah, it was a junior season ticket.
Did you return it?
Well, it was one of them voucher ones. So
right.
They'd just get a new one from the club, wouldn't
Oh,
they?
of course, yeah. The old voucher days.
Yeah.
I never had a season ticket when it was vouchers.
All right. See, so there you go. So the odd turnstile operator would turn me away. But
yeah, I remember them.
But,
I did see other people.
Yeah, it was for the Bobby Moore Low.
You get a voucher and for each game. When did they bring in cards?
I'll tell you when.
Go on.
This may surprise you because what you said, it was 2004 or 5.
Was it that late?
Yes. 2000.
Maybe we had paper for a while because John and I obviously were in the terraces in the 80s, and then sort of when we had our families, we didn't go for a while or very rarely.
I'd say around the Bond scheme up there earlier, but go on.
No, because I didn't have my children then. And then we sort of came back at the bowling ground, and we were in the Bobby Moore upper to begin with. And then we moved over to, I think at one point we were in the West Stand upper, and then we were in Sir Trevor Brooking upper, and finally Sir Trevor Brooking lower. So that's quite a few seasons. You're thinking, yeah. So maybe it was. Maybe I remember. I thought we'd just moved, so maybe we came back in to the early 2000s as a season, or started as season ticket holders. When did you first become a season ticket holder?
What, in my name or
in your name? Yeah.
So I had season ticket. So when they built the centenary stand, so 2000, so 1990, I think it was 1996, 97. So it's just as when my daughter was born.
Yeah.
And they moved to all seater.
Yeah.
So I was on the chicken run with me and then my mate joined us with my next door neighbour. Then my mate, who we all know, he joined us on the chicken run. And then one year, I think we knew on time. You know what I'm like, leave everything last minute, and my seat had gone, so I had to go into the East Upper. And that was when was I East Upper? Well, I was in the East Upper for the Bradford game, so that was 2000. And then, for a few years, I sort of bummed about. It's so when I come to season, so 97, because I bummed about because I got that season ticket that was the junior one, and that was after the second game of the season. So I used that for the whole season.
I've just remembered. I think I was there. I used to share half a season ticket before I became a full season ticket holder with my mate Gary, who you bumped into.
Yeah, I know Gary. Yeah.
So we used to share a ticket in the centenary upper, right at the back.
Yeah.
So I think, if I remember rightly, there were vouchers then, and we used to just give each other a voucher. We used to take it in turns.
I had a little scam going with a couple of mates where they would lose their season ticket book.
Yeah.
and I would pay. I would pay for the copy, yeah, or pay them money to lose their season ticket book, and we could get in on the Bobby Moore lower then because everybody stood up. So I did that for a couple of seasons, and then I decided to sack that off when my uncle's mate was 65, so he could get me an OAP book, and that was in 2001 when the West Stand was open. So I then moved into the West Stand as an OAP. I mean, you know, what the club going to do about it now? The funny thing is that I did, when I sent David Sullivan that photograph at the start of the season of all my season tickets, there's a couple that say concession, you know, when I was like 30. But I'd then got a season ticket, and I had a club membership in my name. But season ticket in my
me
name.
too. Yeah, I had a club
I'll
membership.
tell you what it was. It was quite funny. It's the first playoff at Cardiff. So I was still on the OAP book, and my ticket went to
What
the
year
OAP.
was that?
So that was 2004.
See, we went.
So
We all went to that,
yeah,
you know, and
so,
we were season ticket holders then, so we were.
Yeah, so my my ticket for the game went to obviously him because it was in his name.
Yeah.
Well, and he was on holiday in Portugal, and I couldn't get hold of him. So I then had to sort out another couple of tickets as a panic buy, and then because there was a way to do that. And then luckily he came back the day before, rang me up and went, "Oh, I've got a ticket here for Wembley." You know, you think, "Thank fuck for that." So everything calm was restored. But then I thought, do you know what? Plus I started to take my nephew then, and I didn't want any trouble with him. So that's when I moved into the family seating area.
Yeah.
Where I stayed. So that was.
It's. I think the East End's the only one place we didn't have a season ticket.
All right. You ever sit there?
Yeah, a few times. You know, for cup games. It seemed weird. Well, I did. I went to a cup game with John once in the upper East End, right next to the away fans. You know that I did that a couple of times, but I also did right almost on the front row for the East End a couple of times for cup games.
Well, I think I managed. In fact, the one thing is, I thought I'd been everywhere. So in the last season at Upton Park, I sat West Lower, West Upper, East Lower, East Upper, Bobby Moore Lower, Bobby Moore Upper. Obviously, I sat in the Trevor Brooking Upper, and the one place I forgot to go was the Trevor Brooking Lower.
No, really?
Yeah. And
the
it
one
was
place
only,
we were
I
at?
was going through everything, all my photographs. I've still got all the photographs from last
No.
season, and and it
Champ's
was only
Corner.
then I realised, wow, I'd forgot to
Funny bunch we are.
go.
You
Yeah, you were.
We've got to move on, but
Yeah.
the strangest seat myself and John ever sat, and it was a cup game. Bobby Moore, lower, front row. You ever seat there?
Yeah, it's an horrible seat.
Why is it a horrible seat? Tell people.
I know it's funny because you was at like foot level.
You're
and
below
I'll
You're
tell
low
you
in the
how, I know.
pitch. You're sitting.
Yeah.
Your
Under
eyes
the
are almost
camber.
level with the pitch. It's the weirdest thing it was.
Because what happened is when they opened
Yeah.
the Dr. Martin stand,
Yeah.
and I got a season ticket on the corner next to the Bobby Moore lower.
Yeah.
And I was right on the corner, but I was the third row. So I was right at the front on the corner flag, and I was level sort of with their ankles when sitting down.
Yeah, it was
And
very weird.
I think I sat there for 2 seasons, and
Oh wow, no, I only just did one game.
yeah,
It was
and I was like,
we're
nah,
front row.
I gotta go, and it was weird because in that corner
You could see their ankles. You're right.
Yeah,
you just see their ankles. You go, what
obviously
the hell?
it was a new area, so a lot of people moved in there. But it was weird because 2 other locksmiths also had bought in that area, and we used to call it like Locksmith Corner, quite funnily. it was just I had to go upstairs. I've always preferred it upstairs. I was saying that to Len when he came with me. I've always preferred the view from upstairs rather than.
Anyway, we're getting to the 3-hour mark in total. We are.
Cheeky Lions, evening lads. What a time to be in Alkmaar. Amazing few days. And Moyes played a blinder against Alkmaar. He said it was good to see Moyes celebrating on the pitch with the players and fans because he looked like a kid on Christmas morning.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
He says, I'm pleased for him, and I'll be the first to admit he doubted him a couple of months ago and was in two minds. But after seeing the other teams get rid of their managers and where they are now, I'm grateful for our owners sitting tight as it may have saved our season.
Here.
Some of the change room videos were posted online, which are great to see, and I look forward once we've won the cup.
Spot on. Well done, David Sullivan.
He's got a question. If you were Moyes out, have you changed your minds?
No.
And if you were in charge and decided to give him the benefit of the doubt, what transfer kit? Right. So look, none of us have really changed their mind. You've heard this all earlier. So transfer kitty? Who's spending it? I'll finish it. He says,
Moyes.
thanks as always. He always looks forward to Tuesday, listening to what sounds like a group of mates down the pub. He said, but mates I've never met, I don't know. Cheeks, you do know us, don't you? Because we're not fake, we're real.
Yeah. That was really Nigel really getting fucked off with me earlier.
Yes.
Fucked me off. And me going ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, of course she was. Yeah, go on.
Uh,
Who's spending the transfer kitty then? Sally or Moyes?
Yeah.
Sally.
Right. Right, come on, actually, Len, come on. Who do you trust more to spend the money?
This is what I mean. You just come on that saying, oh, David Sullivan done a real good job. It's just fucking...
Go on, do it in your
it's
best
chaos.
Sullivan voice.
But do you know what I mean?
Come on, rock or hard place.
Desperately,
It's exactly what it is.
Who's spending the money? The rock or the hard place?
Go on, now let him do it.
Football manager. I'm feeling desperately left out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? On one hand, I don't really want to talk about this because, something could be really good round the corner, and it's going to change the way we feel about everything. And David Moyes, and good luck to him, because at the end of the day, I don't think David Moyes is a bad manager. What I'm just saying is, he's a manager now that's been managing too long and is too stubborn. Right? That's that. Put Moyes to bed there. What we got with Sullivan's a different fucking kettle of fish altogether. The club will not get better until he goes. And we're in a situation where he's going to spunk the Declan Rice money and we'll be back where we started. And you've got people like Sean bumming the geezer up. Am I wrong or what?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. That's why I say it's between, and that's why I deliberately asked you know, that, because
there's no point saying, are we Moyes in or are we Moyes out? Because one, Sullivan will decide. Two, Sullivan will also be the guy that fucks him off and make him decide whether Moyes stays or goes. It's just fucking chaos. And if we're replacing Moyes at any point and he's there, who are you going to get in, to be the type of person that can do a good job with someone like Sullivan doing what he does?
So you're saying he saved the club?
What? And this is what it comes down to. I was saying to someone the other day in regards Moyes. I can't get upset about Moyes. I can't be Moyes out like the way that is, and I'll tell you why. Because the problem ain't him. Yeah.
No.
The problem is with the ownership and the way the club is run.
Oh.
But I don't know, Sean. It is, because at the end of the day, even the appointment at Newman, not only has it not worked, they've got it wrong again. Because instead of going down and getting someone in with an ethos or anything that would befit the club, Hold up,
How
Sean.
many
They
fuckers
brought in
changed their manager this year and their
Sean,
staff?
That
no, it's
doesn't
not
matter.
that, Sean. It's about long-term running of a football club.
Name a club
Newman-
that has.
Sean,
Name a
Newman's
club that's got it
short-term.
right.
I'm talking
Brighton.
about Newman.
Brighton, you're
Brentford.
right. Yeah, you're right. Brentford and
Brentford.
Brighton, maybe.
Newcastle United,
Fulham.
painfully. Yeah,
Actually, Fulham did all right. You're right.
yeah. Look
I
at
didn't
these
think
teams.
this one through, did I? I was hoping you were talking to Chelsea.
And what you got
Spurs.
is
Look at
what you-
Chelsea, Spurs, Man United.
No, but hold up. What I'd say is Spurs at one point, when they brought in the right manager and the right structure, they were successful. But what happened is they overachieve. They get to the Champions League final, lose it. The ownership of the club thinks that's where they should be by right, and sacks the manager that was the best thing they ever had. Yeah, and by then they've got their reward. A car crash of a club
Right,
now.
let me just throw a grenade in there.
Go on then.
About a year ago, 2 years ago, I was asking, I think John, and we were all talking about this, give me an example of a good academy system in a well-run club. And what was the name that came up at that point?
Watford.
Southampton.
No, Southampton. Yeah.
Right.
But they are sellers.
a club that had a really good academy.
Yeah.
They were careful with their money.
Yeah.
And this is what we spoke about. I could find the episode.
Yeah.
And look what happened to them. You know, they changed their manager. They're relegated now. Who knows whether they'll come back? So, these things can change. And yes, Brighton have done well, and I'm really pleased for them. And yes, Brentford have done well, and yes, Fulham have
But hold
done
up,
well.
Sean.
But
This is the thing. When they've changed their managers, so that they Hassan Hootel,
yeah,
was the longest-serving Premier League manager Southampton had.
Yeah.
And actually, they probably would have been better off keeping him.
Yeah.
So that
Did Nottingham Forest keep their manager?
Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper,
Yeah.
Steve Cooper, yeah.
As
Well, they've got away with it, haven't they? I like Nottingham Forest. I don't like what Lingard did, and it really crawls me that Lingard's going to get £1 million bonus for keeping him up when he had 11 appearances and really did fuck all, and scored no goals. But that's the deal we struck. But it has been. Everton, look at the money they've spent over the years, and you could say Everton are probably were our closest rivals 5 years ago. Similar size club, similar.
but hold up, Sean, and it ain't about the money again with Everton. Yeah, the chopping and changing of the managers. Yeah, but not only that is that the scattergun approach of how because they're not structured. Brentford's journey in a way the same with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace middle of the road, but they bring in a certain type of player. Yeah. That befits the club, that actually they'll change the manager.
I'm just saying, grass is not always green the other side, and things change.
It's all about structure, Sean. The thing I've been saying it for years and years.
Yeah, I get that, but look.
But but this is the thing. What
right,
you would
next
never
year,
say is,
right?
There is no structure.
Brighton,
next year, say Moyes left, and they bring in another manager.
Right.
What changes?
All I'll say is, because we've seen it before. Yes, Brighton, Fulham, and Brentford did really well this year. Equally, all three of them could get relegated next season. We've seen it happen.
One thing is, and this is where I think this is why it's another bad season. Well, it would go down as a terrible season actually in league-wise. Is that I think this is one of the seasons where they've never had so many London clubs in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And we are the worst club in London in the Premier League.
Who was it the other day? It was a commentator who talked a London club and was talking about Bournemouth or something.
Well,
was it?
it's probably someone you like
Moose,
you.
probably no. Anyway, we better get back to questions because it's way past my bedtime.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you think that Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, then West Ham should be the next London club.
Yeah.
Chelsea have had a bad season, so we should be the third London club. Tottenham having a bad season, we should be the second London club.
We can finish on one. Are they on 34 points? And we can finish one.
No, they're on 44. Yeah, but I've done this, Sean, where I said the goal difference is so extreme. And
we can't overtake them, I know that. But we can get the same points as them.
Yeah, but we can overtake them if we outscore them in goals. We need
by
8
about
goals.
12-0.
Well, strange things have happened.
You're right. They've got 43. We can end on
Sheffield
43.
Wednesday would have got 4.
Oh,
But
actually,
they did.
6 goals. They're on
Yeah.
-6. We're on -12.
Yeah, but
so...
if they get beat 2-0 by Man United, it's 4 goals. If they lose 2-0 and we win 3-0,
hang on,
Leicester,
they've got 2 games though.
Listen to what I said. If
Man
they
United,
get beat by Man
Newcastle.
United on Thursday, they're now down to 4 goals.
Yeah.
Then they play again at the weekend. They lose 2-0, we win 3-0. Thank you very much. We're above them. We finished 12th, win the Europa Conference League, and Nigel has hit the jackpot.
Yeah, I know. Remind me, what was the score tonight?
I was just looking at that.
Can you tell me? Because, anyway. Mike Colston, evening fellas.
0-0.
He said, how many priority points are we predicting for the tickets will go down to?
35.
31. Because obviously, if you're 31, you can buy.
Oh, yeah, of course. 31. You're right.
There you go. I think it'll be 31. Dodsey, all right, my handsomes, he says. He's happy for Nigel to get the result he wanted. I didn't see it coming, but starting to turn out. They said if you can't get a final, you've heard where we're going to watch it. Sean's in Spain. Len's going to hopefully be in East London, but probably not. As people were saying, Arsenal's favourite dessert is apple crumble. What's your favourite dessert? Well, it's funny enough, it's apple crumble and custard.
Tiramisu. Love a bit of tiramisu.
Terry and Sue. Oh, yeah, you think
tiramisu.
Hot tub
bit
again.
Italian.
What
Love
are you eating then for your afters, Len?
Sean. I was having a struggle to think. I like what Sean said there.
What, Terry
I like
and
a
Sue?
bit of tiramisu.
Yeah.
Although I'm plant-based at the moment, so I do like my coconut delights.
Oh, right.
They're nice.
Can't beat a bit of Viennetta, though, if you're going old school.
No.
Yeah, I like a bit of Viennetta. No. That was posh ice cream when
I
I
know.
Big Arctic roll.
Arctic roll.
yeah. Brady out, he says.
Brady out.
Jack Daniels says, evening, gents. It was good to see Nigel's Wi-Fi working last week. I was almost shed Wi-Fi out. Brady out. Held up. Sean, he's back. He said he's got a few things, so I'll quickly skim through. Moyes' ball gets us the final, but he's not going to complain. Well, there's a first. Leeds, the perfect end of the week with a big fat one looking as though he was chewing a wasp. I did see him and Nolan have a good old cuddle, though. There you go. Questions. Skipping through. Is Len going to release the Allardyce files? Sully sent Sean...
I'd like to release the Dodsey files.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, come the end of the season, I think all out. Sully sent his, including Sean's one, if you're digging me.
I quite like my one, to be fair.
Yeah, I bet you
I know
do.
you do.
Was Dodsey glassing up Andy Carroll when he was pictured with PC Plod on Sunday?
Well, there was a little bit. I think there's a undercover agent because there was some. They all hushed quiet when I went up there. What have you told me about talking to the old Bill?
Yeah, well, Dodsey don't get the message, isn't it?
Exactly.
What's wrong with Dodsey?
Brady out, Sullivan out, Moyes. He's a simple one from the country.
If Andy Sheldon goes past, right?
Oh no.
He won't make eye contact with him, will you? And you just go, don't look at him. Don't look at him. Don't encourage him.
No, he walked through.
He's an
supporters
attention
club.
seeker and all.
He is. He's walking
No,
around
what
the
the fuck's
supporters
wrong with
club.
people?
Fuck off.
I did say,
Yeah.
I'd say, we got we got to go for a beer, and I went, well, obviously not my son who's 16 and not able to.
Yeah, I don't know what you're bothered
drink.
about. Shouldn't have go and watch Everton play.
Except if he has a meal and he's allowed, then has a meal.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
I wouldn't trust him to spot the ball, let alone spot a fucking hooligan.
He's not
Evening,
a fucking
gents.
celebrity. He's a 6 out of 10 fucking Rosa.
Yeah.
Do
I
with
think-
that
and like
personally.
the way they tweet, fuck off.
I'm trying to be
Fucking
modern.
real on Twitter, piss off.
And you're
Evening,
just
gents.
as bad
Does he
for
listen,
fucking
Sean?
encouraging him.
Does he listen to the podcast?
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, that's a shame.
He's a
gents.
toffee, by the way. You know
That's
that.
what I
don't
just said to him. Go and watch Everton.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the great pass. Says the Doog. Sean the Doog. Can we now view this as a transitional season?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be the selling point. But I'll tell you what, if three months down the line next season, nothing's changed, Doog. Those of us that will accept the transition season will probably start being a bit more.
My biggest
Trying to
concern, that I
fuck
said
off.
earlier, probably about 4 hours ago,
Yeah.
is that we bring in some help transfers and he divers through the whole. I think Rice will go pretty early. If it's Arsenal, they like to get their business done early. But I think we'll div around and it'll be difficult to make decisions. And my worst case scenario is we get 90, 100 million and we diver on how to spend it. That's my worst case scenario.
Yeah, but you can't. At least you don't waste it if you did that.
Well, you won't be wasting it, but will we be happy? Let's say we've got a war chest 150 million, right?
Do you know? Hold
And
up.
we don't
Hold
spend
up.
it.
Win here, can
Hold
we?
up.
Go on.
I was just checking out how many comments, and Len's been a naughty boy.
Why?
Because I put this picture up.
What?
You know I have.
No. What picture did you put up?
Well, we was being so virtuous between us. I thought, well, I'd ying out me yang.
Oh no, he hasn't put the Dodsey picture up, has he?
No, I put
No.
the Dodsey one
You
up.
put my one up.
Oh, even worse.
It's
he's
not
broke
worse.
that.
Yeah, ain't worse.
You
Yeah.
lost the bet, and now you've.
No,
That's bad sportsmanship. Then.
It's the
No,
way
I-
he's done it. It's quite
I-
funny, actually.
I never said I wouldn't publish it, so I repackaged it.
Well, I don't know. I've lost my phone. It ran out of battery some time ago.
Good. Anyway, next up is the Colonel Kemp. Dickie Kemp says, hope we keep him well, even the Stooge.
I forbid you to put my photo up, Len. I forbid
think
it.
you make
You
tough
really
shit,
want me to
you
put it up.
Yeah, he loves it, doesn't he? He was going on about captain. He like me. I said we did cover it, Dick. Zuma seems the logical choice, but he'll be injured. Brady out.
Brady out.
Ian Gravett. Oh, I think this is your second time. Are you cheating?
Oh,
Yeah,
come
absolutely.
on.
I do hope inciting the crowd charges not carried through. He said because Rice threw a bottle back into the crowd. Apparently it was a Coors Light, though. Can't wait for the first European final in 40 years. But the powers that be would rather have the prawn sandwich munchers like Sean rather than actual fans. I did.
I ain't going. I ain't
that
going.
thing.
I ain't leaving. I ain't going.
Adam Levitt then does say, why is the final ticket all digital? That's the future ad, unfortunately.
UEFA, by the way,
Yeah.
thing. Not
That's
anything
it.
to do with West Ham.
This time.
Not anything to do with Sully or
Next up,
Nicky.
it's our good friend from Canada, even though he says, hello, from your favourite American. I thought you was Canadian, Palumi
I thought he was
Ogaluna.
Canadian.
I thought
Maybe
he was.
he's American living in Canada.
Well, do Canadians call themselves Americans because they're in North America? Because technically they are on the continent, like
You could be
Europeans are
right.
like foreigners to us, but they're Europeans,
Could be right there.
So I'll give it to him. He's close on his second year anniversary living in London. He was finally get to his first match this season, and the match was a lovely win as West Ham tends to lose matches like these. He said, I'm sad to say, but I feel Paqueta will be leaving this season, and I don't see how he stays
Yeah.
if Rice leaves as well.
That's my concern.
Yeah.
And mine.
He says, I feel Dan's and sadly Manu weren't played enough this season. So many matches they could have gotten extra minutes. He hoped Moyes goes attacking in the last match, whoever's in the back four. Who do you think will be at the club? Too many to list.
Well, Brady still will be. Brady in.
He gone, I've left a long message to make up for not checking him more regularly. Thank you anyway, Palumig. We do enjoy your posts. And you should have said something because we could have met up. We could have popped in and said hello and had a photo done. The next time you're at a game, do let me know. Chrissy Kinch.
Whee!
Chris, sorry about what I said earlier about Jesus.
so
I
you should be.
apologise.
Who do you think the club should aim to bring over in the summer to improve our goals tally? That's a tough ask because Moyes and strikers don't happen. Stuart Ling, brilliant.
Radio.
Harry Kane.
As the recent turn in form and much better performances all round been down to the new signings finally gelling? And was it just a case of new players needing to bed in? Which, if true, and I
Probably.
do believe that, is what the problem is. We need like another 4 or 5 next season. Does that mean next season we go? Oh, it's because the new players have to bed in.
we did say this. It was way too many, and
Yeah.
it'll be interesting
Evolution,
to
not
see. I
revolution.
mean, I could see Skamaka going.
Mm.
I still think he will.
Well, Dinger does say Skamaka's absence been a blessing. He could have been a bit of a problem in the dressing room. Things picked up since he fucked off back to Italy, and he thinks that's not coincidence.
I mean, we've seen the dressing room in the final, and I hear that was always a load of baloney. That it was toxic in the dressing room, even when. But
of course
who
it
knows?
was.
You think it was?
Don't listen to men that walk into pubs. That's what I say, people. Looking forward to Prague now.
I know what you're saying now.
Can't wait to get out there and have a good old knees up, with or without a ticket. I know you hate this, Nigel, but he's going to say it. He's buzzing. Fucking actual age, son. Oh, fuck's sake, buzzing. I'm going to get Chrissy fucking Mills to have a word with you. Hick Chidurchi, one of the original 8 listeners.
Wow.
G'day all, says Hick, because another one. I was over from Oz for the Leeds game. Was Nigel the only person more happy with the result than the one in Alkmaar? You should have seen me dancing. John the Vicar would have heard my language as every goal went in, got fruitier and fruitier. Take that, you fat whatever. Can't stand the fault. I tell you, I think it's the most I've celebrated a game. Honestly, I'm not lying. Can't stand the thought of Arsenal getting Deck on the cheap. What do you think would happen if the club refused to sell for less than the stupid money? Would Deck accept it and play on, and would he get the ump? There you go, Sean.
That's got to be for you, Sean, really.
Sean.
Gone. Head in the fridge.
Yeah. Sean. Oh.
I think he'd accept it.
I think he would accept it as club captain, and I can see that happening. Oh, he's back.
Really?
Sorry, I'm just getting a battery or charger for my phone.
Would Deck accept? Right, here you go. So, right, if no one coughs up the money, and the club refused to sell him for less than the stupid money, do you think Deck accept it and play on, and will he get the ump?
I think he's professional enough to play on.
Right, that's what we all think.
And maybe it comes in, the winter transfer. But I really don't think it will come to that. But, there's got to be a limit. And the biggest danger is that Arsenal come in with their 65 or 70 million. We say no, because I don't think anyone thinks that 60 or 70 million is enough. And for whatever reason, the other big clubs don't play. I'm pretty convinced that the right money is about 90 million. And if we can get close to that or on the button, then they go.
Sure. I think, and I've thought all along, and I think a lot of people think the same, is that it'll go to City and Calvin Phillips, who's the world's most expensive Declan Rice voucher. This way, because that's the only reason they bought Phillips. They knew we wanted him. They knew what price we were offering. They paid the price. Well, they paid 2 million less. Paid him the 2 million wages and a little bit more. And now he comes to us. It's not ideal, but
you never know.
I wouldn't mind him playing for City.
Yeah, me too.
I think he's a great. I think he's a
I'm
good
just
player.
thinking of the injury thing. I think he's a good player. Good,
but he's not played really. Just bits here, bits there.
Yeah, part of the plan.
206 minutes since
Super Chrissy Mills. There you go. Fantastic end of the season. We're playing attractive football, and Chris sort ding-a-ling out for Christ's sake. Sullivan shit-assed us over the line by keeping Moyes. Maybe we can win the trophy and he can piss off and let someone work on what's left of the old West Ham. He has got a question. Anyone got a spare ticket?
For
Brady
what?
out. AZ Ultras out. UEFA
Get a
out.
ticket, will he?
Do you know what? Funny funny you should say that. How many messages do you think I've had from people asking to help me
10.
get a ticket?
10.
If only it was 10.
Really? More than 10?
As someone said, I'm not going to say who it said.
Do you think you've got more emails for tickets than canvases I've sold of Nosey?
Probably.
Really?
So, a certain person who asked me, and I'm not going to name them, who will get their own ticket but wanted one for someone else. I said, look, it's a very long list of the people, and I went, sure, every part-timer comes out of the woodwork for a final like this. And he's probably right.
Part-time.
I think this is the last one. Andy Hall. How you doing, mate? How you keeping? Hope you well. Hello, chaps. Very happy with our form the last few weeks, and I'm positive we'll win in Prague. That's the spirit, Andy, mate. With the winning mentality we have at the moment, I hope all the boys from the podcast will be out there. I don't think you'll see. Well, George. And hope to have a beer with some of you all. Who do the panel think will come into be the director of football? And does that mean Mark Noble won't be needed? I think Moyes has earned himself another season, especially if we lift the trophy. And as always, Brady and Fat Sam out as well.
Brady out.
Paul Mitchell.
Fat Sam is
Paul
out.
Mitchell, director of football.
You think he'll come in?
I'd love to think he'll come in. Red Bull model. And he, someone said he was looking for houses, but that's the oldest trick in the book, isn't it? Oh, yeah, he's been seen looking for houses in Brentwood or whatever it is. And yeah, the rumours that Mark Noble will step aside and just be academy director has already been debunked today to say no, he will remember director of sport. There you go. That's done.
Yeah, I just want to say
Phew.
hello to the mighty War himself over in France, Channel Islands, Guernsey. Hope you're well, mate. And I've dropped a text.
Got a little message actually from your mate,
right. Lou.
His
Yeah,
cousin.
Lou.
Lou.
You know, the Lou you were talking about the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, do you know what sports bar Hammers fans will be in Prague?
Oh, right.
Then he says, can you tell me which hotel the team are staying in?
All right. Well, yeah, I bet a lot of people will be trying that trick.
Well, it didn't do a lot of setting off fireworks outside in Alphabet AC didn't really help, did it?
No. I mean, would the club be reticent to tell people where they're staying in advance?
Yeah, of course. I won't reveal that. Don't reveal how sausages are made. In the same way, we've got one big. See, we have limits, right? Don't we? We've got a story at the moment. We're not telling it because sometimes some things are bigger than for the good of the club. We are supporters.
All right. What was that?
I'm not going to tell you because then, Anyway, I've been Sean. Nigel has been
fighting fit.
And Len has been
Bloody hungry. My stomach thinks my
I
throat's
bet
been cut.
it's been 211
Yeah,
minutes.
well, I was lucky.
Past 11.
My wife brought me up my dinner.
Yeah.
So I've had it in the shed.
Yeah.
'Cause she looks after me. She's
We'll be
blind as
back
she is.
next Monday if we can make it. Come on, you Irons.
Bobby Moore.
It's a bank
More
holiday.
than just a podcast.
It's cool. Let's go for it then.
What's a bank holiday?
More than just a podcast.
I think it's a bank holiday.
When?
Next week.
It's when the banks that are still are open are shut.
Airport that way.
Do you think-
Prague
do you
is
think-
this
Do you
way.
think when all the banks have finally shut down, they'll stop calling it a bank holiday?
Bye.
Yeah.
Listen, how can we lose against Alphabet FC? Listen, airport that way, Prague is this way. We're getting to that final, I'm telling you. Smashing them, 3-1, 3-1.
You're joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake, I can't, honestly, I can't stand this.
That's all, folks.